The renewing your thinking, the power within your words. You know, your thinking is full of words or representations, words, pictures, power within your pictures. NLP is great for that. You know, NLP is great for analyzing our thinking, chunking down on it, changing kind of things. And that's great. Mindfulness, which William preaches, being present, is extremely valuable too, because it's all in the present. When you say water, earth, and seed, I'm thinking a little bit about you going on a walkabout or spending time on the beach.
Yes.
Is there some power in that?
Yes, and it is in the power of now. We got to be present. Otherwise, we're anxious about the future and depressed about the past. So it's all about the now. And the answer William gave was, I like that answer. It was good. It was great. It was on point.
But sometimes people have a problem being present and a problem in the now. And that's that can be a good opportunity for some coaching, handling some objections, or, you know, using some Milton or ambiguity patterns to help people be fully present. Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday, and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions, and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you. Enjoy.
But yeah, Maxwell Maltz, self-image. How he transformed lives just by doing the plastic surgeon that he was doing in order for people to feel good about themselves. And it was successful because of what people saw and perceived themselves as, and it was what they wanted to see themselves as. So they were successful because they felt good about themselves, which is like my story, or that I went through. And it wasn't what I went through, it was how I responded to it. So I started thinking, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? So I looked to my grandfathers, respectable men. They dressed nicely, they carried themselves right as men. They did what men do. They protected, they provided, they initiated, they showed us a way of life, initiation, which was something that I really looked towards being. And as I was going through my stages, I realized it's my image. I was looking like I was still back in my teen days, and it wasn't working for me. It was like an anchor that was holding me back. I wanted to transform, but what I seen in the mirror wasn't working for me. So I changed my image, which also aligned with my character of who I wanted to be. And because I couldn't become this person, is why I was still stuck in my old me. Even if you go to the next slide, please. Or the one, go back to, please. Yes. And it's also helped me to become self-sufficient within myself. So I didn't need nobody. I had all the resources within. I wasn't aware of that until I had to go within. I had no other choice. deliberately the universe, most high, the source, made it this way for me to go within, because those that was around me didn't understand my transformation. In the 3D world, I looked like I was going crazy because the stuff I was saying didn't make sense to them. I was in the transition of growing from who I was to who I am today and who I'm becoming, which is which was my aim, to learn more about how to reinvent myself. And I think it's good for all of us. I mean, to really sit back and think of where we are right now and who we want to become, what it's going to take. The awareness of self and those that are around us. It's going to be hard because of those that are around us, the influence they have and their behaviors around these certain people in the company we keep. In a bad company, corrupts good character. So in order for me to build this character, I had to really change my environment in order to become who I was, because as I dressed the way I changed my image, it was threatening to those that was around me because they didn't understand it. That's okay. It's not for them, it's for ourselves. Personal development. And everything is in the process of change. Everything is changing every day. Today is different from yesterday, and tomorrow will be different from today. This is a process of growth. If we really want to grow, that's going to come with the thought patterns, how you think. When you go within, you can understand the thought patterns, the habitual thinking.
And sometimes it doesn't feel like we're changing. Sometimes it feels like, it's not working or it's not happening. But yeah, you ever feel like that? Sometimes you feel like you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, I've definitely felt like that. Because of my surroundings and my habitual thinking. I had to, it was hard. Self-discovery is hard. That's why no one wants to do it. It's better to just roll over and die. That's why most men die from suicide because they don't have a coach. That's why I'm here to help men, especially with their transformation on who they want to become. So just a question about going within. Have you guys done any shadow work? Do you know, if you're happy to share about shadow work that you've done in order to get to where you are now, to break the pattern, the cycle?
I would like to share, Daniel.
Yes,
For
please.
me, I can totally resonate with what you're saying. I was also in a dark place. During my presentation, I shared the trauma of my divorce, when my husband walked out and left my son and I alone in an empty house. He cleared everything out, and I had to rebuild. I had to rebuild my life, but I can totally understand where you're coming from. I had to find the negative patterns in my life, and I had to find the thread right throughout. And I recognized that my mom had the same issues, my aunts had the same issues, my sisters, my grandmother had the same issues. And I had to decide to break that pattern. I had to decide to get out of that dark place that I was. And I had to decide to reinvent, as your theme says, myself, starting from my mind, breaking limiting mindsets, breaking negative doubts and fears, looking at my present state, and where I wanted to be, my desired state, and finding ways to move towards that. So I can understand that as well. I guess we have all been in that place where we had to find the strength to get out of where we are at in the dark place and find the light, and that guides us into becoming who we are now. And for me, I'm always becoming. I'm always being reinvented, because I hold true to different values and core beliefs, and I'm evolving and I'm learning new things about myself and about people. And so it's a wonderful thing to be able to recognize where you are, where you want to go, and what you need to do to get there, to reinvent yourself, right?
Yes. And just as our presuppositions say, the map is not the territory. It's the journey. And that's where the gem is within the journey, is where we find our gifts, our tools in order to move into the next part of our life, the next stage. Every stage has its gems. And I believe that doing the inner work and going through these trials and tribulations gives us the privilege to really find ourselves. And so as I was talking about the shadow work, there's a little clip that I have of Reuben Hurricane Carter where it really resonated with me, this clip. I would like for you to just have a watch and tell me what you think afterwards, please.
Who is that? Put us in this situation any goddamn way. Motherfucker. Fucked everything up for everybody, you know? This shit is just all fucked up. Fuck you expect us to do now? Motherfucker.
And just looking at these three perspectives of yourselves was something that I come across, the Japanese saying of three faces, but we'll get to that after this.
I'm scared. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, you little skinny motherfucker. Think your father used to beat your little stuttering ass. Don't make me jump over there on you. So you shut up. Just shut the fuck up talking to me. Fuck you talking to. You ain't telling me what to say. I'm running shit around here. Fuck is wrong? Ain't nobody running shit. I'm running shit. Shut the fuck up. What you say? What are we gonna do now? Huh? I know it. Shit, ain't nobody touching me. No goddamn soul touching me. Put your hands on me, not twice. You put your fucking hands on me. I just shut up. Just hurt somebody. Feel like I want to kill somebody. Except there ain't nobody in here to kill. Except you, boy. How about it, Rue? Away from me. God.
sometimes the hardest work we're going to do is the work that we do inside. That's why people avoid it, because it's hard. It's really hard. It's what isolation does. But that's what the gem is. Most people don't understand. That's what the gem is.
I guess that's where a lot of our clients don't get it, or potential clients. A lot of people will prefer to avoid that inner fear. And a big thing about coaching, right? Coaching, we're getting people to look within, and that can be very scary and very confronting for people. But you know what? Rather than saying it's scary and confronting, I'll just say I don't need coaching. It's all good. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I don't need coaching. You know, save that for someone else. But in actual fact, we can all grow so much by facing these inner demons, or the inner self, even if it is a fight or a struggle. But it doesn't have to be a fight, does it, Danny?
No. I mean, there's ways around it. So we have coaches like me and coaches in the Motivate community that can definitely help you get through stuff like this. This is all a matter of reaching out for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Yes, a personal potential refers to the inherent abilities, talents, strengths, and capabilities that an individual possesses. And these are the things we find when we are by ourselves. It's personal potential. It represents the untapped resource and possibilities within a person to achieve personal growth, success, and fulfillment. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Personal growth, yes. I found, you know, when I was going through my transformation, was walking in nature is how I found my capabilities, my strength, and the renewal of my thinking, which I came to find out later was a superpower. It was a superpower that I possessed. I didn't know I was this powerful. And by using the words, affirmations, I am, I knew I was going to get out, but I kept saying, I'm not stuck. I am looking for answers. I will get out. I am capable of getting out of what I am in. So I kind of used this affirmation that was, I am stuck. I recognize that. But I am not going to be here all my life. Or I'm not going to settle for this. I know I am deserving and worthy of much more. So I spoke to water. I spoke in water. Water has power. As William did a presentation on water, the power of water, just speaking into water, because we are 80% water. And speaking into the water gives us another form of superpower that we need. So I spoke to some guys and I used the analogy of water, earth, and seed. We are the seed. Getting out in nature, drinking water, staying hydrated, learning how to work with the resources that we have. They're outside of us to help within.
If I can throw in there, Danny.
Yes.
The renewing your thinking, the power within your words. You know, your thinking is full of words or representations, words, pictures, power within your pictures. NLP is great for that. You know, NLP is great for analyzing our thinking, chunking down on it, changing kind of things. And that's great. Mindfulness, which William preaches, being present, is extremely valuable too, because it's all in the present. When you say water, earth, and seed, I'm thinking a little bit about you going on a walkabout or spending time on the beach.
Yes.
Is there some power in that?
Yes, and it is in the power of now. We got to be present. Otherwise, we're anxious about the future and depressed about the past. So it's all about the now. And the answer William gave was, I like that answer. It was good. It was great. It was on point.
But sometimes people have a problem being present and a problem in the now. And that can be a good opportunity for some coaching, handling some objections, or using some Milton or ambiguity patterns to help people be fully present. So I like to use the NLP or coaching to be fully present, and in the fully present moment, a lot of those problems disintegrate. But yeah, what about do you find specific value, Danny, or anyone else here, when it comes to walking in nature, getting grounded?
Anyone? Darko?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's the ocean, the water. Yeah, I love being near the ocean, but anywhere in nature. Yeah.
Same for me. I love waking up. I'm a morning person. So I'm up really early in the mornings, and I love just lying awake, listening to the birds. My phone doesn't come on until after 6 a.m. because I want this space. I create this space in the mornings where I'm just connecting and listening and feeling the fresh morning breeze on my skin and just absorbing the reality of being present, being alive in the morning. I love the ocean as well. I love the scent of the sea. I miss it. And I just love being around birds and trees and just feeling the wind. It really centers me. It helps me to be grateful and appreciative.
Nice. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Diane. Darko?
Can I add something there, Daniel? After Daniel.
Go on, go.
Yes, William?
Okay.
No, after you, Darko. After you, Darko. After you.
I also enjoy being in nature because I need this time. I feel that we are a lot of surrounded as a humans. We are a lot of surrounded with technology, with sitting in rooms. So I always enjoy to use at least 1 or 2 hours in just being in nature, sitting, watching being on sun, being on around. I like rivers, being around river. So that is, and also being in nature is more really important because even though when exercising, so there is previously I would tend to go to the gym, but now I want to go just to walk, to be in the nature. It is different.
Nice. William?
Yes. So from my point of view, the situation is we are electric creatures. We are all sort of energetic within ourselves, within the cells of the whole, the whole process of, whatever positive, negative, what have you. So when we go into nature, we're actually connecting from above with the electric part of ourselves and below with the magnetic part of ourselves. So between the two, we're revitalizing all those bits within ourselves, if you wish. I'm saying it's all, crazy, I know that. All the bits within ourselves that actually make us more energetic. And when we're energetic, we are being very positive. And being positive is the essence of being living in reality, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but, just I enjoy that anyway.
Yes, and I can relate to that. That is exactly why I get out into nature. It's because of the energetic feel of it. Just feel everything around you and just appreciate nature and just how nature works within itself. So what do you guys think about the fundamentals? What are your perceptions and ideas of what fundamental is to recreating yourself?
We've got some fundamentals here.
We have some fundamentals here. Perception is reality. Perceptual positioning, positions.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? People will have opinions. People will always have opinions, whether you're doing good or bad. That you will discern. And it is also good to see from another point of view, stepping outside of yourself and seeing what you look like through your partner's eyes, your children's eyes. Maybe the guy at the shops, what you look like through their eyes. So next time you go to the shop and you're talking to someone, behind the register or a neighbor, try to see yourself through their eyes. When you're talking to them, ask certain questions and see what you look like through their eyes without being too specific about it. And getting that internal representations from different perspectives. Image counts. People get what they see. Character is everything. So being aligned, balanced is uplifting. It helps. And as I work down here, it's within your behavior, habits, practice, second nature. And doing all this eventually becomes you, who you are, who you want to recreate, reinvent. And doing it with grace and dignity is important. Being humble, giving, showing love, and respect. Because you are a brand that you're marketing as you go out there. As my father said, when I was young, every time you leave this house, you are representing me, because you carry my name and my image. So that's who I am. Not just for my ancestors, but for my children as well, as I am in the present moment and now. And that's where we're going to take leadership. Leadership is very important. That's how we're going to redirect our whole life, our path. And one of the hardest things for me coming back here was becoming of a vertigo type of state. I had old friends that I had to reject that would say, "What's up, brother? Let's go do this, let's go do that. You still do that?" At first I was like, yeah. But it didn't connect to who I wanted to become. I kind of had a soft heart. When I became a victim, so I went back and I found it hard to become myself, to who I truly am on the inside. So I was, I guess, showing a public and the public face and the faces that the family and friends see. But it wasn't who I really was personally. That face I kept hidden. And the more I suppressed him, the more I hurt myself. It was vertigo. So yeah, it was hard. Because going back to old patterns, old lifestyle, this wasn't for me. And learning NLP is what helped me really progress, because mind and body is one system. So how can I think and be something that I imagine to be and pictured myself to be as when my body was doing other things? So through the journey, it was, yeah, the map was not the territory. The map is not the territory.
If I can add in there, we got these NLP presuppositions or beliefs, but it doesn't matter if you believe in NLP or not. This one concept of the map is not the territory can be applied in many different ways. So if someone says I have a problem, like I have depression, from an NLP perspective, the map's not the territory. So when they say they have depression, it's not something they actually have. You can't touch it. You can't put it in a wheelbarrow. You can't wear it, So we've got to make sure when we hear words, we take them as a word. So when someone says they have depression, what they are saying is that they have depression. It doesn't mean they're on the edge of suicide. That's different. That's on the edge of suicide. And even if they said that, well, what would that actually mean? And when someone comes and they say they have a problem, or I've got a problem with my self-belief, well, there's not actually a belief somewhere. So one of the key things of the NLP and our self-development is to keep reminding ourselves of these. And one of the things you mentioned just before, Daniel, you mentioned perceptual positions.
Yes.
You also mentioned shadow work. For those that don't understand shadow work, one of the easiest ways to do shadow work is to take on a second position. So if we're in a regular argument with a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a father or something, and they keep saying we're selfish, for example, and they keep saying we're selfish, we might want to take a second position. And from that second position, we look back at first, or we look back at where we were, and we say the same things. We say, you're selfish, you're selfish, you're selfish. And we see it from a second position. Maybe we step out to a third person, like a fly on the wall, and we see. And through changing perceptual positions, we can start to see, hang on, we are selfish. Or sometimes it's like, we're not selfish. They are just a shitty person in a shitty state. They are projecting their shadow onto us. But we can't do all that if we're locked in to first position. We can't do all that if we don't have the flexibility. So we've got to keep developing our flexibility to change positions and our recognition of the map is not the territory. Perhaps throw in a third thing like mindfulness. Now, in between this, or as we see, stepping outside or just being completely present. And the whole NLP and coaching is simply a matter of using these, perhaps just 3 tools: maps on the territory, perceptual positions, mindfulness, and to keep switching between them, or sequencing, changing the sequence. So wherever we are, we want to keep getting better at recognizing the presuppositions, keep getting better at changing perceptual positions, and keep getting better at being completely grounded in the moment, completely grounded in our breath. And will that help us transform ourselves, Danny?
Definitely. Being a fly on the wall would help in a big way, because you're seeing from a whole different perspective. Are you the bad guy? Or is that person trying to frame you as something that you are not, to play some kind of psychological help? Not help, the psychological game. And standing up for yourself is what helped me through mine. I think it would help a lot of people through this. You're not just sitting there and being suppressed by someone because they love them, or because they're a family member, or because of the familiar cycle and patterns, and being afraid of the unknown. So valuing yourself for who you are and will show in the type of work that you do and don't do. For example, perceptual positions, understanding what people see and accepting it, but also reflecting on yourself and being honest with your personal face no one sees. And feeling good about yourself helps. Feeling worthy despite imperfections. I mean, making progress despite the imperfections, I think is perfect within itself. Because you've made a choice to grow, to develop yourself into becoming this new person. So being assertive, standing up for yourself, and learning to take things on the chin, I think really helps. And knowing that you're worthy of others, respect and friendship helps as well. Although there are people who are suppressing you because they're intimidated by your willingness to change, to becoming this new you, reinventing yourself. Of course, people are going to get intimidated because they're still in their lower vibes while you're creating yourself and just leveling up each time under the surface of what people can see. And when they see your image start to change, it's when the respect comes in, but only by those who really respect you. You will see the difference, so you will know who to reject, which comes with the friendship, relationship. Relationship, what is relationship? It's relating with someone. And if you can't relate, then you reject. That's no ending, accepting the whole of you, both your strengths and weaknesses. And it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's the process of going through all these things. Let's take it. And ways to develop self-confidence through experience. Experiential confidence. Like I was saying earlier, the gem is in the process. You have to be willing to go through to find the gem. That's where you find your gifts, your strengths, your weaknesses. That's how you find out who you really are and where you're going by what you see and accepting what other people see and reject. And learning to manage your emotions will bring emotional confidence and understanding that not everything that comes in your head, there's a difference between being mindful and being mindful. Mindful of negative thoughts and BS, and a mindful of positivity. You want to become where you go, where you're coming from. I think really helps. Any questions? Yes, Jay.
Yeah, Daniel, not so much a question is, but ways that to celebrate achievements is that if a person's not in a mind frame to look at even doing anything. One of the things we do in Mentor Group is for a person to plan and to help them by mentorship, and having a coach is important, is to go, well, what are the things that you can do that you can celebrate first? And that might be waking up in the morning at a time that you plan and making your bed, so that when you start the day off, you've reached a small achievement. So just as a guide, I reckon people may not go, well, what achievements? What are they? They don't have to be big. They just have to be little things, planning and do it.
And it's correct, because small steps count. Although people may not see it, but personally, like as you said, making your bed first thing in the morning when you get up. By the time you go out, you may have a shit day, you come back to a nice clean bed. And I think that helps personally.
Thanks, Danny. I just want to share right on. Nice. It's also great to see experienced people come together and being able to be comfortable and being able to share. Now, next week, Darko, congratulations again on completing that 1,400 hour certificate and being recognized in the European Association.
It was 1,550.
Wow, Darko, congratulations.
Yes.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.